Hey everybody, Don McGee here, your wellness strategist and nutrition evangelist. And here we are at the beginning of the year where maybe you decided to make some resolutions after all, or maybe you decided to set some small micro goals. Whatever the reason, um, you, like many others, may have gone back to the gym in full force this week. And if you are in the business, you may have clients that are like, yes, I want to see you 3 times this week. And so, what I want to talk about today is recovery because we are all guilty of overdoing it here and there. And especially as we get a little bit older and think we're still 20 years younger and our body doesn't quite keep up, I know I've been guilty of that. You may have too. So, recovery. Um, what are some of the things that you can do easily and at home if you may have overdone it? Well, number one is active rest. Active rest. That is when you're still doing things like um, yoga, not power yoga, relaxing yoga, stretching, walking. You may have a foam roller that you like to use. You may have a Theragun. Things like that are really good for active recovery. Also, depending upon the situation, um, you may need ice. You may need a little bit of heat. I do both depending upon, my situation. For example, if I overdid it at pickleball, I will ice my knee and put heat on my back and my shoulder. Yep, it's a sight to see for sure. So ice is really good. Um, and you know what? I'm a big fan of natural remedies and recoveries, but I also believe in all the things. So if you have gotten to a point where you are sore and you are in pain, by all means, if it's okay for you and any contraindications, take an Advil, right? Because sometimes you don't want to fight through that. You want the muscles to unknot and relax a little bit so that you can do some of the other things that are going to get you back to doing all the things you love as soon as possible. And then there are lots of other funky therapies, right? So, if you're interested in biohacking and the longevity world, there's red light therapy, all different kinds of things that you can start to do some research on and look at different recovery techniques that may help you next time you get into a situation where you're like, I may have overdone it. And then my very last tip for you is this when you go back to doing all the things, make sure you are being honest with yourself. Where are you starting from? Are you still a little bit sore? Um, Take it a little bit easier. Did you maybe jump in too fast and you got in a little over your head ability wise based upon where you were when you started? That's okay. Just be honest and start where you are. That's really the key and build up intentionally and a little bit at a time from there. We used to say the best workout is one that you can do again the next day. And maybe not the next day, but certainly not one that you need 2 weeks off from to come back to. Hopefully that all makes sense and is super helpful. And maybe even you don't need any of this advice because you have gone back in to all the things at the beginning of the year in a sane and intentional way. But I hope this helps. And as always, what I hope for you is that you live a life you love without giving up the things that bring you joy. Until next week, ciao.